So for my classroom management in the digital age assignment, I decided to take on language arts. More specifically, I decided to do context clues and singular and plural nouns. I would love to teach those for a specific lesson to my students. So for example, context clues is pretty much studying the test. So these are examples. Studying for the test wasn't easy, but it was worth the effort. So effort is bolded right here. It says slow to move forward, to move or react, or a hard try attempt. And so as you can see, these are the answers. A hard try attempt relates to the definition for the word effort. And then these continue on. And then for singular and plural nouns, for example, there's singular and there's plural, and then you have these words over here. For example, singular man, plural men. So these are just a few examples that I can use for my students. To start off this lesson, I myself would use a PowerPoint with examples like this, and I would use it projected over the classroom. And so I would have either a student come up and volunteer, or I would pick on a student to come up and fill out these examples of context clues or singular and plural nouns. And so once a student did that and came up and gave them their answer, I would have the class take a poll of if they agree or disagree. And if one disagreed, I would ask why and elaborate and ask questions to see their knowledge and their way of thinking. And then if someone else agreed, I would do the same to see their thought process. So after this PowerPoint, the students would kind of get more hang of it, more used to context clues and singular and plural nouns. And then I would have them break off into groups, let's say 5 students per table. And I would set a recording down. This could be on a tablet, a cell phone, or just an old-fashioned recording device to hear their process and their examples of the context clues and singular and plural nouns. So I would have worksheets for the 5 students to do and see how they work it out, see who's more engaged, see who's taking the lead, see what student is kind of sitting back. And I think this recording would be useful for myself to see the engagement overall, but also to use it to show the parents. Like, for example, if one student was taking the lead in showing their skills and showing their thought process for the group, I could use that and I can show the parents during like a conference that they're really progressing or they really took on this lesson really well. So after the recording and they do examples for context clues and singular and plural nouns, I would have the students, the group of students, choose either a Flipgrid or a Google Jamboard document. So a Google Jamboard document is pretty much a document where you could write your examples or write whatever you're speaking of during this lesson, and write your thought processes down and kind of show the class what you mean by this, what means this, just specific examples for context clues and singular and plural nouns. Or for a Flipgrid, it's pretty much recording. You hit the recording button and you speak, and then you end it. It's pretty much like YouTube. So they would have the choice between Google Jamboard or a Flipgrid recording. So either way, I have that material of recording of their context clues and singular and plural nouns, and they would be presenting that to the class, and then we would discuss further. So I start off with a PowerPoint to overview my students on the lessons, and then I would use a recording to hear their process, to hear their methods, and then I would give them the choice of what physical document they would like to present to the class, and then we would discuss further on that. So overall, I use those technologies, and I can use all of those methods to show their parents or to keep for myself to see their progress. I would ask further questions on each lesson on context clues or singular or plural nouns. And I would just keep the environment really positive and encourage my students and have my own students encourage their peers. So the environment is really positive. Questions are being asked. It's very engaging. That's what I expect throughout this lesson. And then even after the lesson, to keep these parents connected, I would give them the written document and the recording. And even their students can show their parents, like, look at this flip grid, look at what I said in this this video, or look what I wrote on the Google Jamboard, just to show their parents what they did for the day or throughout the lesson. But overall, I use several uses of technology, and it seems that, from my opinion, it would keep the students really engaged in this language arts, context clues, and singular and plural nouns.